Welcome to Ladies of Another View on Beck. Happy Monday morning. I am Mary, and I'm joined by Amy and Jan.
Hello.
And we have a guest today. His name is Terry Kemmet, and he's going to teach us a little bit about the North Dakota Constitution and just some basic rights that we have that maybe we don't use right here in our state. First of all, I just wanted to just share a moment. There was a horrible crime over in Mandan this morning, and we just want to put everybody in our prayers. It was horrific. It was a grandpa. It was a hit and run, but there's more to it than that. But just praying for the kids that saw this happen, praying for everybody involved, and it's just I just couldn't go forward without giving some acknowledgement to that because it's horrendous.
Yeah, we wish for prayers and healing for the children that saw the accident, and for the cops that are involved that brought him in, and for the family of the person that was killed.
Very traumatizing for all, so everybody needs to take a breath and look out for those that are around you.
Yeah.
Everybody's going through something different that you might not know about.
And then to make matters even worse, he left the scene of the accident and then caused another horrific accident over in Bismarck. And not very good results on that one either. So it's always, I hate to share heavy news like that on a Monday because we hope that you guys come to us for a happy place and maybe an educational place, try to learn something. But we couldn't not acknowledge that. But Terry, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
It's always interesting. I've met you a couple different times, and Jan knows you fairly well. And it's like you always have an interesting view on life and our government.
I like when you call it interesting.
I use my words loosely. All right. So, you say that you are basically, I feel like, what is that show? I'm on a mission from God. That's you, I would say.
It is. It is. But before I get into that so much, I really got to say something about you guys. And I didn't even realize it until just lately. You guys do something different than any other mainstream media does. You look for the truth. You try to present the truth. And I know you're encumbered by different things like advertising dollars that go. They say there's like 80 pharmaceutical ads every hour that go out. Well, you ain't getting a lot of those because those pharmaceutical ads ain't designed to sell product. They're designed to control your views. And so if you go against what they say, you lose. They'll pull your advertising on, and that would hurt. See, that's what they do. And there's another thing that you have that kind of gripes me a little bit, and that's you have supposed to be having free speech here.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you have a license. So anything with a license is not free.
Right.
So I know you have the government that's on your case all the time, and hopefully I don't do anything to damage that.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Terry. We are owned by a co-op, and
Yep.
so we don't follow the same rules as other TV stations.
Well, that's good.
We have the freedom to say whatever we want as long as we can back our facts up. And that's what we're here. We're here to spread the truth, to find out or dig a little deeper. We kind of like to call ourselves the Paul Harvey of mainstream media because now you get the rest of the story.
Yeah, very special platform.
And even if we don't have all of the information, we at least give you enough that you can go do further research on your own and find out, I guess it's not going to be proof necessarily, but it gets you digging deeper so that you don't just accept everything that you see everywhere else.
Well, the main thing is that you are different, and that deserves our attention and our gratitude. And I pray for you guys. I do.
Thank you.
Because
We feel it.
this is important stuff you do.
Thank you.
And there's nobody else invited me on their TV station.
All right. So what is your background? Before we get into why you're here today, give us a little bit of background so people can understand where you're coming from.
Okay. Well, I'm a well driller. Drilled wells for 50 years, very close to that. I'm getting wore out.
We all are.
I know it gets tougher and tougher to do, but and I farm too. I have a kind of retired farmer, got to retire something, and that was the easiest to retire from, but I still go out and pull levers, and they'll probably find me frozen someday on the back of a drilling rig, but that's okay. You got to go somehow, somewhere, you know.
Right? Your days are
Yeah.
numbered.
But yeah, I've done these things for all my life. I mean, my dad, we sold a farm when I was in 7th grade, and I would come out and sneak up on the kitchen table, and I'd look at all those papers there. I was just fascinated with all that stuff, and I was looking for one word, owner. And you know, I never found that word, and that impresses a 7th grade mind. It said that my dad was a tenant. And he said it was a tenant in common, or he was a tenant. Well, I thought we owned that land. We don't own that land. You know, what rights do we really have? And could you give me a definition of what you think a right is? What's a right?
Well,
It's really hard.
It is.
It is hard because, you know, where is there anything that the government does not touch in your life?
Yeah,
And what the government
Right.
gives you, the government is strong enough to take it away.
that's right.
Correct.
And I think, you know, you had sent over a kind of a prequel to this, and I had read through it, and I was on the phone with my husband last night, and I actually brought up the rights, because I was like, that is very thought-provoking, is that, from my understanding, a right is something that you're given without permission, or that you have without permission.
You know, I kind of gave you those ones a little bit, but yeah, when you really think of the definition of a right, it's something, and we don't get our rights from government.
No,
We get
we
them
do
from
not.
God.
Get them from
They
God.
like to make you think so,
Yeah.
but you do not get them from government. You get them from God. These are, well, if you listen to the words of the preamble of our Constitution, it said we have inalienable rights given to us by God. The right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. So we don't have a right to own property, because if you don't pay your taxes, they'll take your property away. So that's not a right. We're looking at do you have a right to get married?
You have
No,
to buy a
you get a
license to get
license.
married.
You have to have a license to
That's
get married. So
permission
you do
again,
not
yeah.
have a right to get married. And it says, even in our, well, it says in the U.S. Constitution, it's Article 1, Section 10, it says, no state shall make any law impairing the obligation of a contract. What's marriage? It's
It's
a
a
contract.
contract.
Did they make a law impairing the obligation of a contract? Well, they sure did. Has anybody put a gripe in about it? No. Where do you go? Where do you go? You see, we have a system. There's we understand, but when we go to school, we learned about the 3 branches of government.
Yes.
What are they? And what they are?
Judicial, legislative, and
Executive.
executive.
Executive. Okay, and that's actually 4. What would the 4th one be?
Administrative.
Yeah. You
We
were
cheated.
supposed to say jury there.
Jury.
But
Okay, you know
see,
what?
But you're right, there's a 5th branch, and
Yes.
it's administrative.
Sure.